Hey guys, welcome back to Hedge, where we talk about all things crypto. Today we're going to be talking about Polytrade due to popular requests in our comment section. And we just want to let you know that if you haven't heard about Polytrade already, definitely check out our previous videos on the subject. We've done some deep dives and, we spoke about where we thought it was heading about a year ago. And this is basically our follow-up to that. So one thing I do gotta say is this is not financial advice. Everything here is strictly for news and research purposes. And if you like this kind of content, you should definitely like, comment, subscribe, and stay up to date with everything on this channel. That way you could be, in the know for the crypto world. So moving on to the subject of our video, Polytrade. So where we left off recently with Polytrade is that we had the price go down from its all-time high of $2. It hit a low of 8 cents, which was a great price to load up on. And now recently I've noticed that there's been more activity on that network, and it hit up to 30 cents. Then it pulled back now to about 16, which is another price that I'm going to be loading up at. And me personally, considering that it's down from the all-time high of about $2, I feel like now is actually, in my opinion, a decent time to load up. That's why I'm taking the risk to do so. But once again, that's not financial advice. And one of the reasons too why I am bullish on the project right now is because they've been gaining more traction. They've been moving forward with their actual protocols. They're being mentioned in some news articles now, like the TechCrunch. And one of the things I noticed is that currently in their DeFi pool, like in their liquidity pool, they've raised just under $12 million to be accessed by small and medium enterprises, SMEs. And their goal is to be able to take invoices for, let's say, businesses, and then be able to provide them liquidity, and then giving people like us with Polytrade the opportunity to fund those invoices and then receive interest on that, similar to how a bank would. And for me personally, when I saw Polytrade going after like trade finance, which is basically that aspect of the banking industry, which has been, centuries old, and you'll notice that in my last video about it, that this was an inevitability for DeFi pools. And if I'm correct, the like annual passive revenue or API income, whatever the case may be, it's roughly about, when I checked it last, it was about 20 to 23%. And they mention on their website that it's usually double-digit returns. So let's say, for example, someone needs to buy a piece of machinery for their business. They don't have any access to get money and they need 30 grand for it. Well, Polytrade offers the opportunity to finance it through the liquidity pool. And then from there you could buy your machine and work off the debt, and then the people who invested via the open market are able to receive their yield on that. And I think that's an inevitability. As banks start going titties up, and we're going to mention that in our next video, we're going to need crowd-funded sources of income to actually create a decentralized future. And that's the next step of where Polytrade is going. They're doing RWAs, so real-world assets. They're going to start tokenizing that. So it's starting as invoices, but they want to make it go to car loans. They want to make it go to car loans, insurance, and a lot of other tokenized assets, including mortgages. So that way people could access money when they need it without having to go through all the paperwork and middlemen that are required right now. I think it was mentioned that with their $12 million liquidity pool, they are one of the largest DeFi protocols and lending pools. And they're built on Polygon. Sandeep Nilwal, he's like one of the co-founders of Polygon, and this guy is on their he's on their advisory board, as well as a few other people that are pretty successful in their business endeavors. And what I've come to notice is, generally speaking, if let's say there's a group of 5 millionaires, for example, and you're the 6th person who's not a millionaire, you're likely to become the next millionaire. You are who you hang out with. And the reality is that if they are on the advisory board and they are grooming this project in a direction, then there's a good chance that it'll be successful, especially because if he wanted to be successful on his Polygon network, which is, successful for him and for his own motives as well. The way I see it is this project is one of the next ones to come up on that network, and it's probably going to be relatively big for Polygon as well as for Polytrade. One of the things that I've noticed too is Chainlink actually posted a tweet, and that's going to be in the description of this video. They mentioned like there's an inevitability that RWAs aren't just going to stop at car loans and mortgages. Eventually bonds and certificates and T-bills, things that are banknotes, are going to be tokenized and then transferred like that instead of via paperwork and, you know, inefficient ways of handling that system. I'm going to also link a few articles as well as tweets that explain the Polytrade mission very well, so that way you could look at it for yourself and really see where this project is heading. Thinking about all this information that I just gave you about Polytrade gives you a good idea of why us personally we're thinking, oh, we're pretty bullish on this project. And considering that in a bear market this has become one of the larger liquidity pools in DeFi protocols within the system, that should give you a very good idea of where this could head in the next bull market, especially considering that this project really only launched in 2021. It's very fresh, very new, it hasn't really hit many mainstream eyes. And that's why I'm keeping a close eye on this project. So guys, if you made it to the end of this video, we really appreciate your viewership. We'd love to be able to give this kind of content to you. And for our next video, we're going to be talking more about bank collapse, as well as where this system is heading and some really important information about CBDCs, FedNow, and a few other, I guess, like key subjects that everyone should know about in the future and our opinion on it. Once again, we love you. Take care.